Disgraced former Northern Territory Police boss John McRoberts, the man employed to run the body supposed to enforce and uphold the law, is set to go to jail for breaking it. McRoberts will likely lose his freedom in about 3 weeks when he is sentenced after Thursday's verdict in the Supreme Court in Darwin. How did this remarkable downfall occur, with the commissioner being found guilty of attempting to pervert the course of justice? The story is one of sex, power, and how it corrupts, and how easily a high-status, law-abiding person can do one wrong thing, then make another, more serious mistake and eventually end up a criminal. McRoberts was mostly composed through the trial, apart from the odd sign of frustration, but the color visibly drained from his face when the jury announced he had been found guilty by an 11-1 vote. McRoberts was in a live-in relationship with a woman when he had an affair with the married Zana Kamitsis from 2010 until her arrest in 2014. Kamitsis, who chaired the Crime Stoppers Board, was jailed as part of a major investigation in which numerous Darwin travel agents had been defrauding an anti-government pensioner concession scheme by millions of dollars. Thousands of intimate text messages between the pair were part of the evidence at McRoberts' trial, and some, embarrassingly for him, were read out in court, including derogatory remarks about associates. They indicate that Kamitsis was besotted with McRoberts, who was less interested. "The whole reason I fell in love with you was because my heart skipped a beat when I saw you," she says in one message in 2012. Importantly, there were also messages in 2014 when McRoberts knew she was being investigated but lied to his fellow police about the affair. "Adore you BBXXXXXX," Kamitsis writes in October 2014 on McRoberts' birthday. BB was a pet name, only weeks before she was arrested. "I'm thinking of you. Your birthday is so important to me." When McRoberts was told by senior police what Kamitsis had been up to, rorting taxpayers through false claims for pensioner travel concessions, he said, "She can't be this stupid," Police Commander James O'Brien told the court. But McRoberts was naive to think he could keep secret an illicit affair between two prominent members of a town as small and interconnected as Darwin and interfere with an investigation. One of his most serious offenses was blocking a search warrant on Kamitsis' premises by his own detectives, which the Director of Public Prosecutions and Supreme Court had granted. Multiple senior lawyers and police, including the current chief Reese Kershaw, gave evidence that they had never heard of such an action by a commissioner before. He also ordered that the criminal investigation stop as he lobbied then Chief Minister Adam Giles, Health Minister Robin Lambley and Health Department CEO Professor Len Notaras for a civil remedy, in which the travel agents could repay the money. The fact that people who had committed serious fraud on taxpayers would get away with it raised eyebrows, as did McRoberts' stated concern that the investigation was costly and would damage the tourism industry and the territory's reputation. Mr. Giles had to tell his police commissioner to arrest people suspected of committing crimes. Mr. Giles said he was not concerned and to go in hard. He was not concerned about the travel industry impact or the impact otherwise, Professor Notaras said. McRoberts was irritable at police meetings about the investigation, culminating in anger at the arrest of Kamitsis occurring without his knowledge while he was on a plane and filmed by the media who had been tipped off. "It was all a smokescreen," said prosecutor Michael McHugh, a proposition that the jury ultimately accepted. "The accused did what he did for an improper purpose. This wasn't misplaced loyalty or affection for Kamitsis. It was, as the Crown said, self-interest as he embarked on a course of conduct to prevent police executing a search warrant on her premises." Ironically, those efforts to save his career have cost him his freedom. That would have revealed their involvement through text messages. McRoberts' lawyer Tony Elliott was unable to convince the jury he was just doing his job by being involved in the investigation, had acted properly and cautiously, and had not permanently stopped a warrant or any arrests occurring. It was a bad week for anti-police, who on the same day as McRoberts' conviction announced it had dropped charges against a 24-year-old male relative of a 2-year-old girl he was accused of raping. Mr. Kershaw said the McRoberts verdict was a sad day for the police force and said some officers believed its reputation had been damaged. However, the force was working hard to change that, he said. Criminal Lawyers Association of NT President Martial said at least it showed nobody was above the law, and it was fellow police that exposed that. "In all facets of life, sometimes people do the wrong thing and can't reflect upon everyone else," he told ABC Radio. The only other Australia police commissioner to be jailed in recent history is Queenslander Terry Lewis in the 1990s.